Hello my YouTube beauties and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do the perfect palette tag. I haven't seen anyone talk about this tag thing for like 2 years, but I want to do it anyway. I did dig through a couple of my palettes as to which ones fit in all of these categories. Let's see. The categories are best packaging, best color payoff, most versatile, best for travel, biggest regrets, best color names, least used, and most used. Like that you would take to a desert island, just, you know, if you had one palette. The first palette we're going to talk about is the best packaging. Hands down, this is the best packaging of a palette that I have. It is the Naked Smoky palette. I love the front. It is hard. You don't have to worry about your eyeshadows getting smushed or anything. I love the front of this. It's magnetic. My boyfriend actually got me this, so that's kind of why it has a good place in my heart. And those are some of the shades that are in there. It is beautiful, and it has a mirror too. I'm gonna quickly show you. I love this palette, and the back is even cool. It's got this smoky design. This is my prettiest palette that I have. The next section is the best color payoff, and I would have to say hands down this is the Dose of Colors Hidden Treasure palette. I have never felt a formula like the ones in here. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. I bought this like right when it came out because I wanted it so bad. These metallic shades are like pressed pigments. I've never felt anything like them. You have to be really careful. You cannot use a brush. If you have to use your finger so that it doesn't crumble. But look at this. I mean, I can't even believe it. So those are some of the metallic shades in there. I'll swatch this black right here. It is so black. This palette rocks my socks. I just, like, what? Most pigmented, hands down. I love this palette. Every single color is extremely pigmented. The next section is the most versatile palette, and of course I have to do the Lorac Pro palette. Look at all the range of shades. I'm sure you know of this palette, you have this palette, something, but it is so versatile. You can do any look with it because the top row are mattes and the bottom row are shimmers, and it goes all the way from really, really light to really dark. If you are looking for a palette and you don't know which one to get, I would vote this one. Next section is the best for travel. So of course I would have to do the Nubian by Juvia's Place, primarily because it is cardboard. Like, you cannot break this. There's no mirror in it. You can't break it. There's the shades all nice and, you know, protected because there is quite a bit of packaging protecting the eyeshadows, and it's small. It is just, I use this to travel with all the time, so yeah, this is the best one to travel with. Biggest regret. I have 3 that are the same brand, and I did a video on this back when I first started my channel. I like 2 of them. Okay, I like 1 of them, and 2 of them I really don't like. This is the Makeup Forever Professional palettes. You can get these at the drugstore. They have a metallic eye, which this is the one that I actually do like. The smoky eye and the nude eye. I don't like these ones at all. Like I said, I love the metallic one. The shades are just really pretty, but this has little to no color payoff at all. I mean, nothing. I'm just not a huge fan. I do not like the colors in here. I don't think that these 4 colors do anything. I don't think they even show up on your lid. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on this palette, and one that's worse than that is the Nude Eye palette. These are the exact same shades, just like a hair lighter or darker. The same, and they're dull colors. I am not a fan of these dull colors. The only color I kind of like in here are these 2 shades right here, but even then, there's not that much pigment to them. And yes, I get it, it's a drugstore palette, so, you know, maybe that's why, but I just not digging this palette, so I never use these, ever. On the other hand, this metallic eyeshadow palette, this green, this purple, those are significantly more pigmented and buttery than the other ones, and they're actually different colors. They don't just like all blend together. Oh, and one thing I forgot to say is this palette right here, you can use all the different colors you want, but when you blend it together, they just go away. They blend into one color and then it just looks like a sloppy mess. The next area is best color names. So I of course chose the Cocoa Blend palette by Zoeva. The packaging is also, it was up there with the best packaging, but you open it, there's no mirror or anything, but here's the shadows. They're really, really warm and beautiful. The color names in here just, they hit me. It's bitter start, sweeter end, warm notes, subtle blend, beans are white, pure ganache, substitute for love, freshly toasted, infusion, and delicate acidity. This makes me hungry and I love the names. They're just so creative. They're not just like pink, blue, bronze. They put in some time into making this palette, and honestly the names go along with the whole theme of the palette. It's like warm chocolate coffee notes, so yes, love the names in this palette, except they make me hungry. The next question is the least used palette, and I paid a good amount for this palette. I mean, it wasn't super expensive, but it was up there, and I don't have MAC shadows really at all, and I bought this guy. It's the 15 eyeshadow. It has Vapor, Honey Lust, All That Glitters, Saddle, Mulch, Rice Paper, Amber Lights, Woodwinked, Wedge, Brun, Omega, Satin Taupe, Embark, Beauty Marked, and Carbon. I don't use this. It's not that I don't like it, because when I do use it, I like it, but I think all of these really light transition shades kind of throw me off. It's like, I have a million palettes that have transition shades. This is kind of like a palette full of transition shades with a couple pops of color. I like this shade right here, except not, I don't know. Do I like that? Not really. Look at that. You can barely see that. I don't like this palette. That's what I've just decided. I haven't used it in such a long time that I don't remember how much I like it or not. The only shade I like in here is this shade. You know, I know that MAC gets a lot of hype for their shadows, and they are now like $6 instead of $10, which is super cool. I just wouldn't recommend this palette. I think it's boring. I'm not digging these colors. I probably wouldn't recommend it. Pick something else. Go pick out some individual eyeshadows from MAC instead of buying a pre-made thing, even though they are discounted for having so many in here. I don't think these are the best shades. I think you can easily find other MAC shades that are a little bit more exciting. So the last section of this palette tag is the palette that you love the most, that you use the most, that you'd bring to a desert island, and that would have to be the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette. I use this every day of my life. I can do such an easy, quick eye look with no problem at all. I am making such a dent in these colors. They are colors for day to day when you just really kind of want a nice, light, bright-eyed, open look. They're not super dramatic, and I like that. But at the same time, they have really good color payoff. I never use these big shades right here. I strictly stick to these 6 shades right on this side. I love these two colors together. I love these two colors. I love these two colors for more of a cool tone look. And I just throw it in my crease and I put on some mascara and that's a wrap. I don't have to spend time at it at all, but it just gives your eye a little bit more dimension. It's just so wearable for every single day, and the formula is bomb. I would take this to a desert. I mean, I probably wouldn't wear makeup on a desert. You know, that's kind of like the last problem versus food, water, shelter, survival, not makeup. But you know, if I were forced and someone was like, hey, make sure you bring that makeup eyeshadow palette, it would be this. Yeah, so those are all of my palettes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and comment down below telling me what any of these like categories that you feel like one of your palettes fit into down in the comments below. Feel free to follow me on social media. I have an Instagram and Twitter account. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on future videos. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Hello my YouTube beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something so exciting. We're going to talk about the Morphe Kathleen Lights collaboration palette. I'm going to kind of do a review, some swatches, and at the end I will post a little mini